Hey, what's up, YouTube? It's Richie from Boston. Seeing how we have people in disguise in the chat, I figured I'd start this right now. Stand by. Gotta wait for YouTube so I can. There we go. There we go. How convenient. How convenient that was. You got a lot of people in the chat already. You guys have been staying busy, and that's cool. That's cool. What? It's really bad form to go into a chat and spread links, especially when the person that's doing the live stream doesn't do that particular platform. But if you have to, go ahead, even though, oh, it's Stacy B. All right, I was just going to say, even though I don't know you, but I do. So go ahead, have at it. All right. What's up with a bunch of question marks, bullseyes, and other things celebrating the fact that he lives in Idaho. So there's that. Little Wing 6 was 9, morning from Manchester, England. What's up? I am Moon Man, Ronnie T, Cecil Strickland, Susan Havens. And I would have kept it a secret. Do you see what I see was in the chat, but that is also Nicholson 1968. Fortunately, Geospatial Sky thought Nicholson needed everyone to know. So there's that. Rebecca Fink has the wrench, Knowledge 2020, and a bunch of squiggles next to it. Andrew Trillinger, what's up? John Van Halla, Susan Havens, Cecil Strickland, Ronnie T. Yeah, I know you are, Nick. I'm aware. I think, yeah, there's something going on with my phone. I've been side by side with people all over the United States that have the exact same phone in service, and I have no service. So it's getting really strange. Strange times, man. I just referenced you in a video today, actually. Remember that time that we both decided to tell everybody we were targeted? Because we didn't want to, because we didn't want to let them know it was working, but it is what it is. Sally Ann Deegan, what's up? A Dope Dwarf, what's up? Rocco Bucko, what is up? Lucia Kitten, what's up? The Q Cat, Rain Dance, BL8 Ant. Fallout Shelter has the wrench, Alf Achille, Knee Gear, Kelly Hansen. I think I said that twice. So someone's going to get mad, make a video, but we're pretty much beyond that. The Truth Puzzle Life, I'm all right. Teresa C, Melissa West, Lynette Moody, Harmony, Dan Pratt, ROW. There you go, brother. Ryan Chevelet, Broken Reality has the wrench. Mike Decker has the wrench. All right. All right. Let's do this. Caveman asked me if I was going to talk about this, and Nick basically already said what I was going to say because it's pretty much old news. But look at this. Look at this. Just punching it. You know how no matter what you put a video up about, if it's anything that's on the list, you'll get an automatic Wikipedia link underneath your video. You know what I'm saying? Right off the bat, right off the rip, right away. Bing, bang, boom. You know what I'm saying? Still, I pulled up Posse Comitatus real quick just to show an example because I'm already quite familiar with what it is, and I was already quite distressed. We spent several years making videos trying to stress the point to people that Posse Comitatus not being recognized, not being enforced, not being what it is. And like so many other things, people just don't care. Well, if you go to Wikipedia now, they say that Posse Comitatus is a group of people mobilized by the conservator of peace, typically a sheriff. Yeah, that's not accurate. That's not even close to being real. You see what I mean? There's the link. There it is. Posse Comitatus, according to Wikipedia, is a group of people mobilized by the conservator of peace, typically a sheriff. Yeah, that's the new Google truth. Well, I know what's going on because I Googled it. You know what I mean? That's not real, man. That's not real whatsoever at all. Posse Comitatus did not allow the military of the United States to operate in the United States, which is why they had to have so many absolutely massive military bases all over the place. But the last several years, we've watched the military operate with absolute impunity all over the country, doing drills, doing incredibly dangerous things over incredibly populated areas, like, three Apaches in formation, blowing back and forth over the Boston skyline when they could simply move over east 1 mile and be over the ocean. So if, God forbid, there was an issue with the choppers, they'd go down in the ocean. Nobody on the ground would get hurt. But they don't care about that. They want you to see that they're there, and there they are. Posse Comitatus was to protect us from our own military. The United States of America is the only country, I'm going to say, ever that just loves the military. Let me tell you a secret. You give a bunch of dudes all the best weaponry there possibly is, you might want to pay attention, because what if one of them decides to go wacko, like a general or something to that effect, or a commander-in-chief or something to that effect? Do you know what I mean? People don't seem to think about that. They talk about the military like it's a football team now, and that's exactly where they wanted you. Got you where they want you. Yeah, that's a good song, actually. But let me remind you what Posse Comitatus is. How's that? Let's do that. Let's play that stupid game. This is Posse Comitatus right here. It's very lengthy. It has lots of words in it. There's lots of legalese in it, but it's pretty much straightforward, and I just explained it to you anyways. Blah, blah, blah. The military cannot operate on American soil, and military cannot operate against Americans. Sheriffs, etc., have more power than the military has always been the school of thought. And speaking of that particular school of thought, let me answer Caveman's question, because this is going to get ugly. Virginia sheriff says he'll deputize thousands of citizens to protect their gun rights. Now, in America that I was born in, not the country I live in now, not the country, not at all, that's what a sheriff would do. If a bunch of politicians made a law that was unconstitutional, the sheriff has enough juice where he can literally deputize each and every one of us. Following the change of control of Virginia's legislation from red to blue, same bird. See the red wing, the blue wing? It's a purple bird. Purple means royalty. Do you see what I'm saying? Do you see this? It matters. Democrats have been rushing to file gun control bills, blah, 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 to take assault weapons bans. Assault weapons is a made-up word. Assault weapons is like gender. Assault weapons is like climate change, global warming, and, well, outer space. Let's just put it all right out there. You know what I mean? An assault weapon is simply a semi-automatic rifle. Time immemorial. These guys want to take the guns. The sheriff is actually doing his job, and they will do their job on the sheriff. They will completely and totally demonize him, etc., etc. They'll give him the treatment. You know what I'm saying? But he's trying to do the right thing from what we're reading. But in this day and age, for all we know, he could be in on it, but I doubt it. I'd like to say I doubt it. I'd like to think that there's a lot of good people left in Virginia. But this is what they're showing us. This is law enforcement today. If the local law enforcement doesn't do what they say, they'll send in the military. And you see these guys, girls, hims, shims, she's, he's. They've got armor, they've got shields, and they've got actual assault weapons. Weapons that when you pull the trigger, they continue shooting without pulling the trigger a second time until the magazine is empty. That's an assault weapon. That's a military-grade weapon, M16, A1, A2, or worse. So here we go. If you recall, the other day, myself and Big Sib were talking about myself and Big Sib were talking about Nicholson, how I'm going to say 3, 4, 5 years ago, me and Nick were talking on Skype, And we were like, this is going to start speeding up. You know what I mean? Yep, it sure is. Yep, it's going to speed up. I wonder what the timeline will be. And we both decided that once YouTube started dropping the hammer and shutting people down, demonetizing channels, et cetera, it would be right behind that. Well, here we are. I believe that Agenda 21, Agenda 2030, Agenda 21, they've been way ahead of schedule, because that's why all you're hearing about is absolute global warming, global warming, global warming. I've heard dudes on YouTube with good-sized channels that I've met face-to-face, and I drew the conclusion that these dudes are a little different than I am, but they still know what's up. I've heard them making videos saying that in order to help the environment, they're going to stop eating meat. They said this publicly in a video. Are you kidding me? Now, to stop eating meat to help the earth, to prevent global warming, is because you're literally concerned about cows farting. That's the bottom line to the entire guise about eating meat. Yet, according to the same people that say you shouldn't eat cows or whatever, those are the same people that are advocates for eating clean human flesh grown in a lab. So put that in your pipe and smoke it for a minute and tell me what you think, because there's that. It's just absolutely, totally, and completely crazy. I absolutely do remember the holes in the ozone layer caused by hairspray and R22 refrigerant. Imagine that. What's your plan for five? What are you talking, dude? Shut up. What's your plan for five? Oh my God. I try to read the comments so that I can do this, because I know people enjoy when their comment gets posted. It's cool, right? Whatever, I guess. I'm guessing that from consensus. But then you get stupid asshats that leave dumb questions that get me stuck. So there's that. Assault cow farts. They'll be banning them soon too. They'll be putting silencers on the cows. At any rate, let me pull this other one up real quick. Kill that. I'm going to show you. We're going to go right into global warming too, because it is amazing how stupid people are. How incredibly stupid people are. Let me see. I had one more on the sheriff. One more on the sheriff. We'll deputize. I already did that. Virginia sheriff said, let's do this one right quick. It's the same one. I'm a dick. My bad. It is what it is. At any rate, according to this, if everything we're seeing is accurate and the sheriff's not in on it, it looks like they're way ahead of schedule and they're trying to set it off. Like me and the Big Sib were talking about the other day, they have just fluoridated, medicated, vaccinated, genetically modified, distracted, scrying, mirrored, black magic, MK Ultra, and just turn people into apathetic pussies who don't care. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, really bad. So they're going to do this in Virginia and see if they can start something, because they've been trying to set it off numerous times. You know what I mean? And it just won't happen. People talk about it, but they won't be about it. You know what I'm saying? It just amazes me. So this could be another attempt in a long line of attempts of, thinly veiled drills, shootings, events, tragedies, etc. One of my subscribers sent me an email. Speaking of this comment right here, paid $20 for a package of chicken breast. Yeah, don't do that, dude. Buy a chicken, man. I don't recall tracking Bigfoot, dude, actually. At any rate, I don't think this, somebody said, Richie, they're spraying the sky so they can mess with the temperature so they can charge more for oil and gas. Hey, check this out. They don't have to do that. You know what they do? They can put all their friends in governmental positions. Hey, Little Wing, I appreciate that. You just distracted the shit out of me with this. So I hope I remember what I was talking about. But please don't send me money through this super chat thing. That's not why I'm doing this. And I have no clue where that money goes. Thank you, but please do not do the super chat thing. Anyone. It's not why I do this, man. So let's just stay on that. One of my subscribers sends me an email. They're chemtrailing the skies so they can change the weather, so they can charge people more. Well, they don't have to do that. And you know how I can tell you that? First of all, they already have all the money. They have all the assets. They have everything. None of us own anything. Excise, property, and inheritance tax all went through. Nobody cared, and they're still in place. So you can never, ever, ever, you can pay your house off all you want, but you better make sure you can pay those property taxes and the water tax and every other tax that they come up with to make sure you can't hold on to that. You know what I'm saying? Fort Knox has been empty a long time. We don't even have pennies made of copper anymore, people. Do you see what I mean? Quarters aren't made of silver. Nickels aren't made of nickel. They've got all the money. It's the reason they're effing with the planet is far greater, and it's completely and totally biblical, man. Completely and totally biblical. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, Dr. Kemlung, one more, dude, and you're gone. I don't know who you are. I don't know. I've never seen you before, but you're starting to be annoying. They don't need any more money. They have all the money. The game is all about your soul right now, and they are drastically dropping the temperature of the earth, and they're going to use the global warming meme that they're just absolutely, completely jamming down people's throats, especially the kids, to get rid of people. And there's your Georgia Guidestones. I just told you about this last night. That's what it is, man. That's what it is. Spiritual warfare on a massive scale. When somebody has a poltergeist type thing, what's the first thing they report? There was something in my house. We couldn't see it. It was throwing things around. It was breaking things. Experts show up. Law enforcement shows up. They all agree that something crazy is going on. Lots of people witness it. What's the first thing they notice? The temperature of the room drops exponentially. What's the one thing about the D-Wave quantum computer that's completely different than everything else, according to what they tell us? It's kept colder than outer space, if outer space was real. But they keep it really, 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 really cold. Do you see what I mean? They're terraforming the earth. They're preparing the skies. They're filling the atmosphere with heavy metals, and it does numerous things. When you're getting your information from fallen angels, angels that were actually standing there when God created everything, you learn how to do things on a multifaceted level. Every single thing they do serves more than one purpose, period. They're filling the atmosphere with barium, strontium, aluminum, and whatever else. They're filling us with barium, strontium, aluminum, and whatever else. And they're changing the atmosphere that is friendly to living organisms. They're filling the atmosphere with things that are probably damned and are never, ever going to see the light of day after Yahushua returns. Do you see what I'm saying? But I really don't think they're doing it so they can make more money. If they wanted to raise gas prices, remember that time we went to Iraq and we killed over 1 million people and we shot depleted uranium all over the landscape that's still causing kids to be born with birth defects right now? Well, we took over the second largest producer of oil. We owned that oil. Do you remember that time our gas prices went down? Yeah, me neither. They actually quadrupled. And you know what Americans said? Same thing they said when Posse Comitatus went out the window. You see what I mean? They don't have to do shit to raise prices. They raise prices and no one says anything about anything. They keep consuming. When cell phones first came out, they were $100 or free. Now they're $1,500 and you need a new one every 9 months. I don't, but kids do. And Andrew Potter is completely accurate. You're right. Let's all just digress for a minute. This better be Nicholson, because I just noticed that that's spelled differently. Little Wing, I'm looking at you right now. Thank you again. I appreciate it. But honestly, don't do that because I don't even know where it goes, to be perfectly honest. We can't all digress. Cumulus. Yes, yeah. The day that the new cloud chart came out, I knew we had a problem. I knew we had a problem and people didn't care. And I'm not saying people didn't care. We care, but apparently we ain't enough. Apparently. I don't know. All right, let's look at this. You've seen this. You're familiar, but we're doing this for the new kids in the class just in case. All right. You see this? I made a video about this back in 2017 because this is becoming old news because this is how they do it. They just put it out there. If they get too much pushback, they back up a little bit and then they come back out. They back up a little bit and they come back out. Harvard's Solar Shield research program has been out in the open since 2017. And it's not the only research program that's come out. They're all out. They don't care. Nobody cares. People don't. You can show them. You could lock them in a room and make them read these things all day long, and they would still deny what they're seeing in the sky. We have scientists on this earth that have literally tricked people into what you see isn't real. What we tell you is real. And that's what we're going with. Oxford, Harvard, they're all out. They all got geoengineering. The only issue is they all say we could start experimenting, and then they describe it. They describe the exact way they would do it, but they, instead of using an airplane, they figured out we better say we're going to use a hot air balloon, which is just ludicrous. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely, totally, completely, 100% ludicrous. They're telling you what you're seeing in the sky isn't real. We're watching them kill the ocean. The ocean's dead. Ocean's absolutely dead. And speaking of geoengineering, climate change, global warming, and blobbity, oh man, I'm Italian, asshat. At any rate, I'm Jewish. Camito, that's a good Jewish name. What a dipshit. At least if you're going to talk shit, do a crumb of research because all my information's been out for 8 years. It's not new. At any rate, this right here got sent to me by this guy. You see this? Let me do a full screen so you can see this up close and personal. Now, I can attest to this because I live across the street from the Atlantic Ocean. How do I make this go? Go. How do I make it come back down? What is this? All right. I live across from the Atlantic. I'm 52 years old. So that's a good amount of time to see something. Do you see what I mean? How bad? Why am I effing this up so bad? I'm just trying to make it a little bigger. Well, maybe it's bigger on your end, whatever. This guy is a hydrographic surveyor from 581 Singleton Road, Lofton something, whatever, Australia. And this is his job to check the level of the ocean going back 105 years. In 1914, the ocean was at a level of 1.11 meters. Blah, 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 blah. 2019, 1.05 meters. So do you see that? That's not the ocean rising. It's the ocean doing nothing because it's not dropping either. You know what I'm saying? These guys claim the ocean's rising and the ocean's, dude, 50 years. The ocean, the only thing the ocean's done different than since I was a kid is it's totally dead. Starfish, sea anemones, seahorses, everything in the ocean's dead. And the horseshoe crabs that the elites are probably using to make a special antidote for the shit that they spray in the sky, the blue blood that's $60,000 a gram, they're gone too. But you see this guy? I'm just some dude that just happens to notice the ocean. And I happen to know a lot of people that also know the ocean isn't rising. But this guy's job is to show you the oceans aren't rising. And he does. The sea and oceans to the east of Australia form the largest bodies of water on Earth. This broadly connected vast body of water presents a genuine sea level. The Sydney Fort Denison recording station provides stable, accurate, and genuine mean sea level data. The following table shows you mean sea levels. I don't know why they're mean. They must have been married. At any rate, the following table shows mean sea levels at 10-year intervals, and these levels are related to the chart datum, which is the lowest spring tide level. 1914, 1.11. 1924, 98. This is meters. 1934, 98. Well, you can see it for yourself. 2019, 1.05. But notice that 100 years ago, it was the highest it's ever been, and it's never gone higher than 100 years ago. But Don't let that nonsense fool you. Some little mentally incapacitated girl from Switzerland or Sweden or wherever Greta is from, she's on the cover of Time magazine, and she's got a mural painted on the side of a building in San Francisco, exactly like, well, Stalin, Saddam Hussein, Hitler. So there's that. I mean, come on, man. How dare you? It's just totally, completely uneffing believable. You can show them all the evidence. They can look. They can look. Hey, see those things up there spraying things up in the sky, and then after they're done, the sun gets blocked out, and then you don't see the sun anymore? Here's the websites. It's Harvard, it's Oxford, it's the Navy, it's the Air Force, it's whomever else, George Soros, Bill Gates, blah, blah, blah. Here's all the proof. You can read it. You can hear their words. You can listen to videos of them talking. I can't hear that because television told me no. It's unbelievable. Now, excuse me. I'm a pig, whatever. Now, this has been going on, and it all ties together completely. If you own the food, you own the people. If you've got all the food and the people don't, guess what happens to the people? Either they do exactly as you say, they pay exactly as much as they have to, and most of them will die off. These people that run things have no problem with causing massive, massive hunger. Ask those poor bastards in Africa. Do you know what I'm saying? It happens. This is exactly what they're going to do. I've talked about the farms on and off, but I actually done better than that. I've gone to farms because reading in the mainstream, listening to some dude on YouTube, going to farms all over the United States, every single town that I go to that there's a farm stand with someone I can actually approach, every single one of them know exactly who Monsanto is, and they know exactly who Bayer is, and I buy local honey from them because if you're going to an area like that, at least eat honey. It helps keep you from getting all stuffed up and such. That's what I do. But it's a good icebreaker to ask these people what's going on. You know what I mean? But this has been going on, and this is going to get epidemic levels. The farms are going under, whether it's the banks, whether it's trade wars, whether it's whatever. The whole plan is to control the food and knock these guys out completely. And that's what they're doing. And it's becoming so bad, apparently, that it's turning into a crisis that's showing up on CNBC. But of course, it's trade wars and climate change. Climate change. Well, I'll tell you what. Just like me, you, grass, bees, trees, birds, and everything else aren't made to breathe in heavy metals, heavy metal poisoning is a thing for a reason. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah, there you go. Eat organic. There you go. Yeah, there you go. I'm just going to pass on that one because it's just too easy. So, I can't. I don't need to watch this show. I don't need to. I'm showing you right now. I don't need to watch somebody telling me what I'm telling you. You know what I mean? How much time do you? It's really bad. You know what the common denominator is? They're spraying heavy metals in the skies and people are completely ignoring it. This is all just a symptom of the disease. Okay? I don't need to watch Farmageddon. Without watching Farmageddon, somehow I'm saying exactly what they're saying, probably with less words. So there's that. I don't sit all day on the internet. You know what I'm saying? Whatsoever at all. I spend too much time as it is doing this. But I just cannot shut up. And YouTube pisses me off. I wish there was a face with YouTube that you could go punch, and I can't find it. And that pisses me off equally as bad. It's bad. It's bad, but it shouldn't be surprising. It should not be surprising whatsoever at all. I'm building a greenhouse. There you go. There you go. You'll be all set. You'll be all set. Nobody's building. Nobody's Debo. How about this? Why don't you let me worry about how I am? How's that? All right. I don't even know who you are, so I'm never going to take advice from you ever. So there's that. Man, seriously, it's getting so ugly. It's speeding up so fast that people are like, your audio wasn't quite good. Yeah, who cares, man? Who cares? Yeah, let me do that. Let me get right on live call-in shows. That'd be phenomenal. That'd be great. Then I could be like that other douchebag channel that sits there and reads the mainstream news and then tells you to believe it. Let's all look at this again. Remember this little chart that I showed you a while ago that people really didn't seem to care about? Well, this is what we call proof. Do you see what I mean? Do you see this chart that I showed you and I said something like it was like 29 years ago and it was actually 39 or 40? The average temperatures, this proves they're cooling the earth off big time. Not that I needed anybody to tell me. I record it every single solitary day. Every single solitary day. But this right here goes from 1981 to 2010, and it was by NOAA. And for some reason in 2010, they stopped recording this, which I find strange. But then when you try to look up how many children are on medications under the age of 10 in the United States, you can only find out till 2015. And then once again, nobody keeps track anymore. It's strange, right? It's strange. They really start spraying the skies, and the one organization on Earth that should be recording it stops in 2010. They start absolutely pounding medications down children's throats, turning them into easily triggered he, she, him, shim, whatevers. And the organizations that should be keeping track of how many kids are on medications have stopped. I mean, dare I say it's like it's like a conspiracy. You know what I'm saying? It's like an absolute conspiracy. They start spraying. Look at it. Oh, I got some absolute asshole send me an email, right? I'm sorry. I got to swear. Richie, you made the 666 sign 3 times. Hey, jackass, I'm Italian. Do you know how hard it is to not talk with my hands? And I don't. Why would I make a sign like that when I made, I don't know, 35 videos explaining what all those signs meant when they're in the hands of people that are deliberately posing on the cover of magazines and album covers and in movies and such? So get a grip, will you? Unbelievable. And they're not skewing the numbers, James Lab. They just stopped. I tried to pull up the percentage of children on medications in the United States under the age of 10, and all I've got is 1.4%, which is wholly inaccurate. They stopped recording it in 2014. NOAA stopped recording the weather, because NOAA doesn't got time to record the weather because their job is, oh, wait a minute. You see what I mean? You see what I mean? They just stopped recording it. It's stunning. When you really start looking into this, you'll lose your entire mind. I mean, I might be losing my mind. Who knows? What I'm losing? Exactly, nerdy ant. Look at that. OMG. She's the Illuminati. Sandman. Yeah, you know what I'm saying, people? Get a grip. At any rate. All right. Average temperature. I'm going to put this in here. And I will post this. I will pin this in the comments. Well, you know what? No, it's not. No, it's not. It's a Butler. One of my subscribers sent it. You know what pisses me off is I don't expect this from my subscribers, the people that at least show up in the chat, and that's what gets me. That's what really gets me. It's like inviting specific people to a party, and then some people show up and just do dumb shit. Like, are you asking me to recheck the Georgia Guidestones where it's actually located? Check the time capsule. Do you mean the Georgia Guidestones that I've gone to 3 times and the ones that I showed the live stream last night for like 10 minutes? Those? Do you see how it could get frustrating when people tell you to check what you are? It's just strange. It's just strange. At any rate, I'm going to pin this, and I'm going to make this video right here live because I don't know how to share this PDF file with you. I don't know how to share this PDF file that has the Australian largest ocean on Earth that's actually lower than it was 100 years ago. And not once in that 100 years does it actually go over its highest originally recorded or control level. You see, that would be called science. That's science. Crazy, right? Crazy. Actually, I'll make this public right now. Bam. All right. So there you go. Now you can watch it at your leisure and show your friends. So then you can get ignored to your face. And you'll be like, wow, this is like doing a live stream. And I'll be like, yep, I told you. At any rate, yep. It looks like they might be trying to start a gun confiscation, or at least get the conversation out there. That way people are arguing at Christmas dinner. And you see, this is what they do. Christmas is coming. People get together. Why not have the biggest story? The military against the sheriff. The sheriff's going to they do this shit every year. There's nothing new. Nothing new. This is going to be their latest attempt to get people to do anything other than argue amongst themselves. I doubt they will, but it's what they do, man. We've been watching them do this for years. It's just the newest iteration. This is what we call scientific proof. 100 years ago, they checked it. Every 10 years, they checked it. It's lower. Watch the news and listen to freaking out little kids on television. And apparently the oceans are going to come right over my house tonight. And yet they don't rise. They're dead. They're totally dead. But that's barium, strontium, aluminum. And then take this little fun, happy chart and show them the temperatures over the last. I never actually figured that out. 2010. I still can't figure that out. 91, 2001. Okay, 29 years, or is it 39 years? 40 years period or 30 years? It's a long time, but right now it shouldn't be 20 degrees out. And I've been saying that since September. It shouldn't be 20 degrees out. It's freezing out. They're freezing the planet. They're killing the farms. They're loading the atmosphere. And then they're... What the... That just freaked me out, man. Oh, shit. I thought, that was crazy. I thought a helicopter was coming in my window. All right. Australia is under, all of us are, dude. All of us. Just some people are talking about it. Some people ain't. Did you hear that, Mike? I don't know. That was, it auto-played to the next video that actually had audio. It just freaked me out at any rate. Could you hear that? Ooh, geospatial sky. You can't say that. You got blocked. I'm going to give this guy 1 because I think that might be a joke 2 times, and he's an asshat and he's gone. I just ban people. I don't care. I don't care. The stuff we're talking about, maybe you jump in a live stream while I'm making light of something, but for the most part, I'm not making light most of the time. This is bad. This is so bad. I've just come to the point where I'm accepting it. Like, people ain't going to wake up. Nobody's going to do anything. There might be a few of us left, but I got a funny feeling they made themselves known to me, to Mike Decker, to Nicholson. They made themselves known to a lot of channels. And then some channels are just cruising right along. All is well, man. They're reading you the news as the news puts it out there, and people are calling in and sending them super chats and all that. Don't fall for that, man. Don't feel like you need to be part of something. We're all God's children, man. That's the one thing people are losing. You don't need people around you. People will let you down every time, unless, of course, they're Recon Marines or 11 Bravos, in my opinion. At any rate, let me double check this. Cows farting, that's no good. Trade wars and climate change are killing off the farms. Low prices, floods, and trade wars plague Americans' farmer. Climate change. The National Weather Service. If you can pull this link, I will post this in the chat. Grab this, because this is actual evidence. Not that anybody's. That's what's getting me. I found so much solid evidence. Every one of us. All these. There's a lot of you in the chat. I can see that. Yeah, there's no reason to put people's names out any place, dude. At any rate. a lot of us have pulled like, dude, I have it. The FDA slipped, and it shows that they put mercury to clean the vats that the vaccines are made in. We got them now. Nobody cared. David Keith from Harvard University comes out. We got him now. Nobody cared. You know, it's just, it's disconcerting. So I'm just going to keep quacking until they cut my chicken neck. And that is pretty much it. We have solid evidence. I just showed you several pieces of what's called actual science. That is evidence. They're not using science. They can't hear science. They think that a 5-year-old that thinks he's a girl is correct. That's where we're at. So when you show them, I'm going to show you hard evidence, solid evidence right now. So when you show them this chart from NOAA and say, it used to be warm for almost my entire life until they started spraying really bad, and now it's showing, that would be science. The guy from Australia with the 100-year chart, and the actual 100 years ago, the ocean was higher than it's ever been now, and they're telling us the oceans are rising. That's all. They just don't give a shit anymore. They don't care. They've got the mainstream. They've got the scrying mirrors. They own Hollywood. People are paying to be tracked, and it's all good. There's no turning this ship around. You just need to understand that this isn't people doing dumb things. This isn't politicians acting stupidly. If we could just find someone that could, we do have somebody. It's God. Do you see what I'm saying? It's Yahushua. This is coming to pass. There's no turning this boat around, and I think they're way ahead of schedule. Agenda 21, they already blew by that. I think they're coming up on Agenda 2030 in 2020. And I'm not the only one that thinks that, at any rate. Yeah, well, I don't know how long you've been here, brother, but to me, we're pretty damn close. And all it would take is a couple of flips of a couple of switches, and it would be hell on earth. Stop the food, which is what all these headlines are getting people ready for. Stop the food, it will be hell on earth. Brother against brother, sister against sister, it will be on. I'm not talking about you specifically. Strawberry skies forever. Richie from Boston, I'm out.